The Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Buffalo Bills in an instant classic Sunday afternoon, 37-34 in overtime, advancing their record to a league-best 10-1. But how'd they do it? The Bills are a tough customer, so this would be no easy task, and that was proven considering it took them an extra frame to hash it out. This game, much like the week before, and the victory over the Chiefs at Arrowhead, was a second-half game for the Eagles. Trailing 17-7 at the half for the second week in a row, that's where our story begins. The first notable play of the second half was this bubble screen to Julio Jones on 3rd and 14 that went for no gain. It had Eagles fans on Twitter going absolutely insane. Let's keep that one in our back pocket. Now we're at about 8.5 minutes remaining in the third, and they leave Jordan Poyer unblocked. They play action, fake QB run, and tight end Jack Stoll, who's starting because Dallas Goedert's still injured. Stoll comes across in motion, and then he's wide open and takes it down to the 4-yard line. On 2nd and goal, what do? Play action, Hurts rolls out. Very similar. Stoll comes in motion again. They're ready for him this time, but they're not ready for A.J. Brown, who's wide open behind them. A.J. did a fake pick that turned into a sort of dig route. Doesn't matter what the route is. It's a touchdown, and now it's a 3-point game. But then Josh Allen scores, and the Eagles go down 10. Something Allen proved time and time again in this game, and I'm sure he proves it every week, but he certainly proved in this one, is that his 6'5", 240-pound frame is really, really hard to take down. He does not go down easily. Now we go late in the third quarter here, and something I admired from Jalen Hurts in his rookie year was his fearlessness in the pocket. He could have a stampede of elephants rushing towards him, and he'd hang in there just long enough to get the throw off, and I feel like he's kind of lost that. Maybe it's for the better. Maybe he's developed an internal clock, but I'm going to bring it all the way back to the first drive of the game for the Eagles to show what I'm talking about. He threw the ball away literally every play, first down, second down, and third down, because he was afraid of the pressure, and like I said, potentially rightfully so, but he wanted no parts of the defenders coming at him. Now we bring you to late in the third quarter, and he's standing right there in the teeth of the defense with Gregory Rousseau, that's number 50 right there, just coming at him because Rousseau manhandles backup right tackle Jack Driscoll as Lane Johnson is playing this one, and Jalen lets it rip to Devontae Smith for a big gainer. Quarter ends, and I want everyone to listen up and watch real closely here, okay? The Eagles get a big touchdown to Devontae Smith, and what's that right there? A Julio Jones fake bubble screen. Let's go back to the beginning of the second half where we started in this one, when they actually did the screen to Julio and it didn't work. That was the Eagles' way of keeping the Bills honest, because if they try to fake the screen in the fourth right there, that's not a Devontae Smith touchdown because they didn't do it prior. The defense isn't going to fall for it because who's throwing a bubble screen to Julio Jones in the year 2023? It works because they actually did it a quarter ago, so now the defense is selling out for it because they think Brian Johnson's crazy enough to do it again. If you threw a screen to Julio Jones once, you're probably going to do it again. That fake screen to Julio, coupled with A.J. Brown running a post and pulling the safety with him, leaves Smitty wide open in the end zone. And you can thank Brian Johnson's play calling for that while you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips and saying the 10-1 Eagles should fire their offensive coordinator. The Brian Johnson hate is ridiculous. People just love to complain about something. They think they're smart because they know Johnson calls the plays and not Sirianni, so they want to showcase their knowledge and just pound the fire Brian Johnson drum. It's the same people who wanted Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen gone a year ago. They're 10-1. Please learn football. All right, glad I got that out. 12:54 remaining in the fourth now. The Eagles are down 3, and James Bradbury says, give me that. Thank you very much. Bradbury sold out for the pass to Diggs and actually leaves Gabe Davis wide open. Allen could have dropped it in the bucket. Blankenship was back there, but you can see there was definitely enough time for Allen to drop it in there and to get the first down to Gabe Davis, but he stared down Stephon Diggs. That's why Bradbury sold out for it, because Allen was selling out for it. Absolutely telegraphed the pass. Bradbury gets in there and gets the takeaway. Eagles on offense now, and with the pocket collapsing, Hurts tries to make something out of this one, points and says, Olamide Zaccheaus, this one's coming to you for 6, and he does find him in the back of the end zone for 6 to give the Birds the lead. OZ now has the same amount of touchdowns as Terry McLaurin this season, so safe to say AJB, Smith, and Zaccheaus are the 3 best receivers in the NFC East, unless you want to throw the Cowboys' best receiver in there, Jalen Tolbert against the Eagles in Week 9. But the Bills will not go down without a fight, and under the 2 minutes in the fourth, they find the end zone and give themselves a lead of a field goal. Now, this is different from the Eagles' past 2 games against Kansas City and Dallas, where the Eagles' defense had to step up and stop the Chiefs and Cowboys from putting together game-winning drives, and they did that. But this time now, Jalen Hurts and the offense are in the position of Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. He needs to lead the offense down the field and get a game-winning drive, but this time there's a little more room for error as opposed to Mahomes and Prescott because they just need a field goal to send it to overtime. A couple A.J. Brown completions, and they're at midfield. Devontae Smith catch gets him to the 34, and Jason Kelce says, you know what, I'm just going to false start a boatload of times. 2 false starts for Jason Kelce with less than a minute to go, so now it's 3rd and 17, 30 seconds to go, and it's incomplete. 59-yard field goal attempt to send the game to overtime. Most kickers would be shuddering at the thought of it, but old Iron Boot Jake Elliott remains perfect on 58-plus yard field goals in his career. He's now 4 for 4 as Jake the Make nails this one to give us free football.
Heads is the call. It is a heads. You like the ball. Which one would you like to kick?
Now in overtime, we get one of the weakest roughing the passer calls you'll ever see. This is 2 weeks in a row now, late in the game, with the Eagles have been called for a really weak roughing the passer. It's kind of getting ridiculous. We're playing football after all. There's going to be contact with the quarterback. And Josh Allen, who is as sturdy as they come all game long, they couldn't take him down. All of a sudden, he falls like a ton of bricks at the slightest touch. Disgraceful that it was called a penalty, but there's 15 free yards for the Bills. Even still, Buffalo only manages to kick a field goal, and now the Eagles need a field goal of their own to tie it or a touchdown to win it. Let's check in on Brandon Graham again.
You about to win it? You must don't know Jalen Hurts like I know Jalen. You must don't know Jalen Hurts like I know him.
The Eagles' offense kind of just shredded through the Buffalo defense. Devontae Smith had a couple catches, DeAndre Swift with a big run, and Jalen Hurts gave us a walk-off touchdown for the Eagles' 10th win of the season. In the midst of the roughest stretch of the season, with the hardest schedule in the NFL, the Eagles have now beaten the Cowboys, Chiefs, and Bills all in consecutive games. Most valuable player favorite, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles will host the San Francisco 49ers in an NFC Championship rematch. An NFC Championship that saw the Eagles take a 31-7 blowout victory.
As this season been going on, not much. Talk is cheap. They get to come back in the link. It was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what if, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that up, and prove it again.
That does it for this one. If you enjoyed, do me a favor and leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts and opinions, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.